If you're watching this video, I want just this one little promise from you. And before we start watching, the one thing I want to ask of you, this is a personal favor that I'm asking, and this is that please don't watch this video unless you have the next 7, 8, 10 minutes free. Okay, because in these 10 minutes, I'm going to be telling you about the things I gained in life, how I gained them, so that you can go ahead and gain them as well. But at the same time, the things I lost, because you don't always just gain, you have to give something back, you have to trade some things to get some things in life. And I have also lost some things in my life, and I want to tell you about those things I gained, things I lost. The ones I gained, I'm going to be telling you how you can gain those. The ones I lost, I'm going to be telling you the ones I wish I had not lost. And brother, I hope if you have some time, you should not lose them as well. Okay, so these are the things that I'm going to be telling you about, and the title of this video, very beautifully put, is how I stopped wasting my time, because that's when things started taking a turn, and that's when I started changing my life for the most part. The biggest changes started happening when I stopped wasting time, when I stopped watching Shin-chan, when I stopped watching Doraemon, when I stopped watching those Netflix TV series, those movies online every single night. Just kidding, I was never into movies, but yeah, Netflix a lot. So, guys, this is it. When you actually go ahead and you see, if you even see my phone right now and you scroll up the images, the photographs on my phone, you will probably find that I have been a very different person. Just 3 or 4 years back, I was completely different. I used to love watching TV series, I used to love watching cartoons, I used to love hanging out with friends. Things that I loved back when I entered college, that was in 2015. Let me just give you a quick list of those. Some of those are partying like crazy, because I used to live in a hostel in college, and you can understand how things are at, almost every night is a party when you're at a hostel, right? Then there's video games. I was actually one of the only kids in the hostel who had the privilege of having a PlayStation in my room. So I used to have a PlayStation, a TV and everything, and I had that privilege of playing video games all the time. Then there's dating. There's going out with friends, because I practically used to live with friends. So I had all the freedom to go out with friends anytime I wanted. And of course, not studying. These are the things that I loved when I got into college. But with all of this going on, how did I change my life so much that I went out of college and I was in the top 3 of my batch. I was almost consistently topping my batch. And at the same time, not only that, I was also running a business once I finished college, right? I was also having a lot more things going on for me. It all changed when I stepped into college and I met different kinds of people. And I want to tell you about that. So these are some of the things that helped me get on track. The first is gym. For those of you who know me and follow me on Instagram, you know that I am crazy about going to the gym day and night. I love it. And this is probably the best time for me. I just gain so much when I'm at the gym. It's not in terms of my body and physically only, but also when I'm at the gym, it's like I'm able to take off my day's stress, the workload, all kinds of worries that I have, they just go away when I'm at the gym working out. Okay, so that's the number one thing. And I think consistency in the gym helped me see results, helped me see my body transforming my body. I was able to do that. And I used to be very slick thin back when I was starting college. And just second year I started gymming, and I found some great friends who also loved to go and work out. So we would basically keep each other motivated, and every morning, every evening we're going to the gym. It just helped me see that when you consistently keep doing something, you see the results. And that was my cue number one, that okay, well, if I consistently keep on working on something, whether it's my studies, whether it's getting a job, whether it's interviews, whatever I'm preparing for, if I consistently keep doing that for months and months and months, I am bound to see the results. And that's one of the biggest points that I had when I was in college. The next thing that I want to tell you about is an ambitious group of friends. See, when I started college, there was actually two kinds of people that I met. First kind loved to party. They were the backbenchers. They were basically planning the when you start college. There's this huge party with the whole batch invited, right? And you guys go out and you get to meet each other. You get to meet new kinds of people over there. So there was this one group of people who was completely into parties and having fun, and oh, it's college life, we won't get it again. And I used to have this choice that I can either be with these people or I can be with these people who were sitting in classes, who were not partying, not attending any events at all, not going anywhere, basically not wasting any time, and just studying and studying and studying. They were basically in college, and they were almost as if it was their third time in college or something, because they had no excitement about the college life. All they cared about was being in class and acing the class. Okay, and I tried to find a balance. I thought, okay, maybe I'll stick in the middle. I'll be with these guys half of the time and these guys half of the time. Of course, that doesn't always work out. So what I found was eventually the results thing, right? When you start putting in the work, you start seeing the results. And eventually, even though I was a really, really crappy student in school, in high school at least, in college, if I was studying at least, I started seeing the results. I started seeing my grades improve. I started seeing teachers, lauding me in class. So I started getting a little bit more motivated, and I started pushing myself towards the people who were studying instead of the people who were just partying day and night. Okay, and at that point of time, there was this one friend that I have, and I still remember his, this one word by word. He told me this one thing. It was just a small line, but he told me, look, one thing about me, I don't waste time. And I was like, you don't waste time? What are you talking about? So, what's life like when you don't waste time at all? Like, I just imagined, that this guy, he doesn't lay down in bed and look at his phone for 2 hours and then just realize that, okay, I just wasted 2 hours. No, he doesn't do that. He is a class apart. He's going ahead, working or playing or doing something, but he's not wasting time. He's not going ahead online, consuming content on Instagram for 2 hours and not doing anything about it. He's not going ahead online, chatting with girls for 4 hours, or on the phone for 4 hours, and then sleeping in bed, and then next morning waking up and not really being serious about anything. He's not doing any of that. He says he doesn't waste time at all. And I kind of tried to make it my motto. Look, I know that it's a very difficult thing to do, but I'm going to try to be more like that guy in terms of at least the time wasting strategies, right? I won't waste time. I won't go ahead and waste all of my time, and I try to do that as much as possible. I still do that till date, and that has increased my productivity so much. I know people who would just keep looking at their laptop, staring at their laptop for the next 1 or 2 hours and not do anything. They would go ahead on YouTube, they would watch 2 more videos after this one and not do anything after that. So the whole reason is, if you're doing something, there should be a purpose attached. And my friend helped me see that. He said, I don't waste time. And I was quite surprised, and I tried to incorporate that in my life. And that was also one major reason how I stopped wasting time. It seems like it's such a stupid reason, right? I don't waste time. Okay, so I won't waste time either. But it's actually a big deal once you start incorporating it, once you start imagining what life is like for the other person when they say they don't waste time. The next thing is my parents. My parents have been very supportive. Even though I failed the JEE exam, well, you don't technically fail it, you just don't get some great colleges or some great universities where you prefer them to be, right? So I said, what the heck, at least I can try to be closer to my home. So I was actually in a college which was around 2 hours away from my home. 2 hours is not a lot, people commute daily up and down, but I personally got the hostel because I did not want to waste 4 hours traveling every single day out of my 24 hours, right? And yeah, that was also how I stopped wasting time, increased my productivity. Those 4 hours I could spend studying, I could spend doing YouTube, I could spend doing my business, things like that. So I tried to buy myself some time over there. The next part, when I was not serious at all, and a little bit serious though, because this was back in my third year, when I had already started to be serious about grades and everything, and I was with these group of friends who were studying most of the time, right? Of course I was still not all the time studying, but at the same time I just knew that I had to have some balance. And okay, I was serious about my studies, I was serious about getting a job or moving overseas to the US. to a good university, right? And that was my goal first off. And then I started YouTube because I was in this GRE group, and I got my GRE score, and everyone started asking me, how did you score such a good score? How did you go ahead and get the score? And I was kind of tired of telling everyone the same thing. I did not want to keep copying and pasting the same text, or even trying to answer all of their questions. So what I did, I created this video on YouTube, and you can still see it. It's my first video on my YouTube channel, and it's just such a bad quality video. Like, the camera work in general, the content is good. The camera work is so bad. I never owned a DSLR and anything. So yeah, I would just use my webcam, and yeah, it was a badly recorded video. So yeah, but YouTube, it just helped me gain so much more consistency. Again, whenever I start something, I try to be consistent at it. Like I said, the gym. And then the same thing happened over here as well with YouTube. I wanted to be consistent because I knew I would see results if I'm consistent. So I started being consistent, trying to upload videos once a week at least, trying to create content. There was so much to create when I started. Right now, I usually struggle to find the right video to make as well. But of course, back then things were different. And in college, I wanted to use YouTube for bettering my communication, but turns out that I actually made a completely different life out of YouTube. Launched businesses because of this YouTube channel. I created so much, I'm connecting with you guys because of this YouTube channel. So much that I learned about social media and how to run an online business. It's all because of that one initiative, that one day that I thought, okay, let me just go ahead, upload a video on YouTube. And you can do that too. I urge you, for most people, I want you guys to actually try YouTube for yourselves. I think that, look, not everyone's going to be great at it, but trust me, whenever you're going to be walking away from this thing, you're going to be walking away with something that you gained only. It's never going to be a loss. That's one thing for sure. Okay, and finally, I think that the one other thing that helped me get on track is that I had some awesome group of friends who would take on initiatives like businesses with me. We would basically go ahead and start a business, and we would try to make it in the market. If we didn't, it's okay. If we failed, we would go ahead and we would start another. But in general, we would start businesses. And this is actually my third one right now that I'm pursuing, the YM Grad business. And this has been on for almost 3 years now, and it's growing at a very fast pace, and we love it. But at the same time, before this, we failed 2 businesses. And back in college, we had nothing to lose. So I had great friends who would basically indulge with me, who would code with me, who would try to create with me, right? And of course, if you can find those group of people, even if you're working in a company, you can probably go ahead and find people who are motivated, who want to build things, who want to build software that other people use, right? Who want to build not just software, it can just be content. It can be content for your Instagram page only, right? It can be anything, but as long as you have motivated people around you who are willing to work, and who are willing to work for free, even not even get paid in the beginning itself, you can be 50-50 partners. It just goes along to show that you have that power, that initiative, and you're trying to do so much more. Don't just waste time, right? Don't just go ahead every Sunday party, every weekend party. Instead, why don't you go ahead and start working on a project that you and your friend can take on together, right? Hey, who knows? Maybe it's a waste of time, but maybe it can actually potentially be your next big thing. So go on, start things, take an initiative, take a leap. But at the same time, there are a few things that I lost that I want to tell you about. Okay, now, like I said, you don't only gain things. This is a one-way road. You go ahead, you stop wasting time, you start working more, and it just brings on more and more work into your life, and definitely you gain a lot for that. Probably the easiest thing to guess is money. There's a lot of money to be made, and you can probably do that. But at the same time, things are not that easy. So one thing that I like to tell people is, yes, do epic shit, but not at the cost of invaluable experiences. Some things just cannot be bought back. Your time cannot be bought back. Things that you were doing, like I was scrolling down my phone, and basically I was going up and up and up. I was actually checking what kind of a person I used to be 3-4 years back, and I saw pictures of some people, saw pictures of some, my hostel. Even if I can probably give $100,000, I cannot get back a single night at that hostel with all of my friends like it used to be, right? Back when I was in college. So things have changed and I cannot get back those experiences. No matter how much money I am ready to give away at this point, it just won't come back, no matter what. So if you're in college right now, or if you're in school right now, please do this. Stop wasting time, but at the same time, don't do it at the cost of once in a lifetime experiences that you probably won't get back, no matter how much money you spend. Trust me, there's a lifetime for you to make all the money you want. There's a lifetime for you to get all the fame you want, to get anything else that you want. But the things that you are, the moment that you are in right now, that's something that you cannot buy back. And please acknowledge that as well. If you're with some people right now, your friends, your family, those people, they may not exist tomorrow. So start valuing them. Definitely keep a balance. That's one thing I want to tell you, because yes, I've gained a lot, but I've lost a lot of these things, these aesthetic things that I just cannot get back, even if I tried. Of course, people cannot be brought back. If you have some people in your life, value them right now. It's not just about the experiences, it's about the people. People make experiences happen, right? So the people around you, value them, cherish them, and you will genuinely see what I'm talking about. I mean, most of you, if you go ahead and you talk to a 40, 50-year-old person, the most important part that they will tell you about is their memories, their, those things that they have from their past. They can't even get those back now. Of course, money is something that is secondary. They will have a lot of it, most probably. But at the same time, those experiences, they're going to be invaluable, because the money cannot buy them back. Okay, so I hope that this video helps you gain a little bit of balance, and it helps you understand how I stopped wasting time. It can be as simple as I don't waste time. That could be the whole video, really, if I wanted to make it like that. But in general, I don't know which thing is going to strike for you, because there's just so many things I wanted to mention, and I mentioned all of them. Maybe one of them struck lightning for you, and you would probably use that to get far ahead in life. But at the same time, I hope that the whole part about balance and not being able to get back the time and people also helps you in some way or the other. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the very best for your future. I assure you that I'm 100% with you, whatever you need. Okay, if there's something I can do for you, let me know down in the comments down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Goodbye and take care for now. I love you all. Bye.